What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some Age of Empires 4. Everybody hates me already. That's fine. Magic is in the chat. He told me to make a cast of a game. He told me to cast Beasty Cutie, apparently the best player who plays Age of Empires 4 now. I remember when I was back playing Age of Empires 4, I was whipping all these young whippersnappers. Beasty Cutie couldn't keep up with me, didn't realize that fishing boats were good. Now everybody complained about how good fishing boats are, and now nobody builds fishing ships. What, do you reckon that's because the fishing boats were OP, or just everybody sucks? Which one? Which one? I don't know. Okay, sorry. We're watching a game. Okay, spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as the Rus. The Rus are the civilization of choice here for a guy named Oppa. Now, if you don't know who Oppa is, that is because he's playing on a Smurf, because people play on Smurfs for whatever reason. His actual name is WAM, and he is one of the top players currently playing Age of Empires 4. His opponent today is Beasty Cutie, and he is playing the obnoxiously busted Holy Roman Empire. Now, people were complaining about a certain strategy with the Holy Roman Empire, which was something like a 6-minute castle age, 6-minute castle age landmark drop. If I recall correctly, I think I have a video on YouTube of me getting something like a 6:30 or 6:15 castle age Holy Roman Empire drop. So I don't know what to say here, but Beasty Cutie here, we'll see what he's going to be able to do with his Holy Roman Empire in this game. A lot of people saying that they're very overpowered now because you get this prelate right at the start of the game with no downside. So you just effectively, at the very beginning of the game, you are up. You're 40% villages. So if you've got yourself like 6 villages, you're actually 7 villages at the very start. Something crazy like that. So scouting around, doing all the good things. Now, if I remember correctly, I remember thinking that the Rus were an obnoxious civilization that I hated playing against. So the Rus actually also get an economic bonus at the start of the game. They get this scout, and he gets to run around, and he gets to kill off animals and get himself gold. So that's very, very nice for them. So that little bit of a bonus that the Holy Roman Empire is getting at the start of the game gets offset by the fact that Rus can deal with that. Not only that, they can also build themselves scouts out of their hunting cabins, so they don't have to invest in extra or in less civilian units to make their extra units. Now we're going to be seeing the Golden Gate getting dropped here very, very fast for Oppa, for WAM. And this is probably, I think this is something that I said at the very start of the game was going to start happening. We were going to see players, or if players get to the level that they can deal with one town center all-ins, we're going to see the meta shift into a very 2 town center centric game. And what that means is effectively here that you can go for the early Golden Gate, and then you can buy some stone, get yourself a whole bunch of wood, and get yourself an early second town center with the Rus. Unscoutable, so you're not going to be able to realize your opponent's gone for a second town center until you see it, as opposed to everyone else who actually has to mine gold. Also, mine stone. So we'll see if that's what's going to happen here for our Rus player WAM or not, or if he's going to go for something else, I don't know. Beasty Cutie, on the other hand, is throwing up his ancient chapel. No surprises here. This is the landmark which allows you to put your prelate in and empower everyone, so that you only need 1 prelate to secure all of your resources, gathering at that 40% extra gather rate, which is like 40% is huge. That's a bloody big bonus for every one of your civilian units to have here. Let me see a little bit of cheeky shenanigans here from WAM attacking the village. It's being really, really annoying. This is the type of thing that I think can be patched. Is super annoying and super like, you just give villagers bonus damage against scouts. Very simple. I think that this is not something that should be happening in a modern game like Age of Empires 4. That kind of harass is really annoying, and it doesn't do anything. It's just annoying. You see the wooden walls coming up here for Beasty Cutie to block this location in, and lots of villages on food, a couple on wood, lots on gold. This looks to me like a very stock standard fast castle. Beasty, every time I poke my nose into his streams, he generally goes for very fast castle, very fast industrial. Doesn't like building units, doesn't like doing anything. He just likes booming, sitting back and doing his thing. So we'll see if that's what's happening. And now Oppa over here, he is buying himself that stone. Like I said, this is something that I was fairly confident would happen in Age of Empires 4 after all the nerfs to the polar Rams. You go into a very boomy game. That's why I thought that the Rams were in there in the first place, was because the fact that the booming was so strong, so easy to do, so strong, meant to me that it didn't make sense for it to happen. And we are seeing that town center getting dropped right in the middle of the map on the ball here. Very smart play from WAM. Beasty Cutie's not going to be able to counter this very easily. He can make, say, men-at-arms here and attack this. Men-at-arms and or knights to move in and target this down and attack the villagers underneath the town center, but the villagers are just going to be able to garrison in. One of the weaknesses of a second town center is that you can only garrison 10 villages inside of it. So there's already 7 villages out here, about to be 8 villages, and you're going to have to throw down something to defend this. We'll see if that's what's going to happen here. And if we jump over onto Beasty Cutie's point of view, he's just about to click up to the next age. And if we follow all of this, we can then say, well, Beasty Cutie's already going fast castle. He's going to be going for early extra relics. And because WAM has gone for a fast second town center, that gives Beasty Cutie a little bit of time here to actually go Mythic Age. Industrial, is it called Industrial Age? No, can't be. Fourth Age, whatever the Fourth Age is called. What's it called? Imperial Age. You can go Imperial Age straight away because he gets this ridiculously cheap Fourth Age landmark that then allows him to spit villages out like crazy. So we'll see if that's what Beasty's going to do or not. He's getting the Burgrave Palace, though, is just going to be... I'm not sure exactly what this does. I think it gives you cheap men-at-arms of some variety. So not going for those early relics, going for the men-at-arms instead. So stables coming up now for WAM. Going to be trying to secure those relics, it would seem, to make sure his opponent doesn't get them. And also looking for some raids with those knights. And with the Burgrave Palace coming up here, I'm interested to see what Beasty's going to do behind this. He does have all of this hunt over here that he can jump onto. And yes, you can get... Oh, they just train really fast. So it's not cheaper units. They just train really quickly. So he can make units really, really fast here out of that Burgrave Palace if he wants to. And get those upgrades for the units incredibly fast as well. That's bonkers too. That's a really, really decent landmark there. Much better than I thought, and we'll see how he's going to do. So he's going to get those men-at-arms out, ready to start getting some raids happening, and we'll see if he's going to make anything happen. Whereas WAM here, just going to be booming as best as he can. More archery ranges getting taken down, stables going up, wooden fortresses coming onto this position to allow his villagers to have some sort of a safe ground, and we see the early, well, I would say early walls here. I mean, this is 8 minutes, 39 seconds. It's not really early for Age of Mythology, but I guess maybe early for Age of Empires 4. For WAM coming out on this position, and we do see that Beasty has spotted it. So nice proactive usage of these spearmen, preventing the early walls, but we've already got walls up over here from WAM here. And this is something that I said was bound to happen in Age of Empires 4 eventually. It's going to be wall spam. So controlling corners of the map, controlling area of the map with walls. Walls can get taken down easier in Age of Empires 4 than Mythology, but it's still very, very good to do so, especially once players start working out how good side builds are in Age of Empires 4. And when they realize how good side walls are, they realize that the way to counter side builds is going to be walls. So, for example, things that WAM can do right now is swinging to this corner, throw down a stable, throw down a barracks here, and start spamming 1 or 2 men-at-arms into this location at any point he chooses, because Beasty hasn't walled it off. And that's going to be really, really strong for him. While he's targeting units over here, and do that. And we'll see if that's something that he's going to want to do in the future or not. Beasty, on the other hand, because he's gone for the fast castle, he's not going to have any ability to do side builds. He has to kind of sit back and just sit in his base and kind of live the dream for a while. As WAM still making those knights. Knights versus men-at-arms is a big question mark. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. As the walls coming down for Beasty on this location here. I mean, he goes for the fast castle, so normally when it's the same thing with like the Egyptian players. If you go for a fast castle, you normally don't start walling until after the fast castle. It's generally the rule here. So it kind of translates a little bit into here for Beasty in the castle age as well. So how much does it cost? I'm interested. Where is it? El Bark. No, it's Palace Swabit. No, it's still expensive. But it does cost less. So we'll see if Beasty's going to go for that at any point or not. Handful of archers getting built here to try and deal with those spearmen. This is one of the hardest parts about the micro in this game is you have to... The counter system is really, really big. So archers... If these archers are targeting anything other than spearmen, they're basically doing nothing. If these knights are targeting the men-at-arms, it's not very good either. So you do have to be super, super careful as you see one of those... That was a monk there getting taken out. Nice play from WAM to be proactive where that's concerned. Now the real question is where to from here for WAM. Because he's got, essentially has the map control. I think you see the fights continuing here as the army doing a nice job on the back here. Just trying to get in and pick off those spearmen the best as they can. These units here are kind of getting caught out a little bit. The Knight's doing nicely. Generally, against men-at-arms, you should be making those crossbows if you can, but it is very, very high amount of food to be able to make them. So I'm a bit surprised why we're not... I'm surprised why we're seeing the archers instead of just farms, I guess, for WAM. Farms and starting to move into crossbowmen or something to deal with these men-at-arms, but there might be a reason there that is beyond my knowledge. Oh, he's only in age 2. That's the reason. He needs to get age 3. Fair enough. So WAM trying to do his best to stay in it with the armory that he can make, I guess. And you can just see like a handful of men-at-arms can just chase these archers down, do so much damage. And you can do this little shoot and scoot micro thing to eventually take the men-at-arms down, but the Knights come in and clear this up. And look at this. This is the thing, right? Right now, WAM has got himself 1,000 wood in the bank. If he moves up here, throws down some barracks on this position, throws down some barracks, stables, barracks on this position. There's just no reason not to be doing it because you just gain so many resources here. Same too for Beasty in a big way. If he moves in and he throws down a random barracks over here, just the amount of damage he could do with some men-at-arm raids onto this location over here as well. If he can swing, he can't really swing around there because it's walled off. But any ability to throw side builds down in Age of Empires 4 is something you should absolutely be doing. Now we're starting to see the farms getting thrown up here. You can see Beasty making a little bit of a mistake here on his farm placement. This is really, really inefficient. All these villagers building these farms very slowly. One way to get around this is to build the farm. As soon as it's finished, click the villagers onto the farm, and then they should... I'm not sure if it works on Age of Empires 4, but it does work on Mythology. They should immediately walk to all the other farms. So if you are going to spam click, at least do... the common courtesy of right-clicking on the farm afterwards to make sure the villagers don't farm like this. Yeah, anyways. Ran over. Farming efficiently is something that nets you a lot more food than you would actually think. Or you lose a lot of food by doing it this way, effectively. You don't think it works in Age of Empires 4? Alright, well, just build the farms correctly then. Take the time. Oh! Big prelate, takes too long though. You could have killed this with the longbowmen, but or archers, whatever it's called. So we see Beasty now, ready to go to the is it Imperial Age? No, Industrial Age, Imperial Age. Yep, throwing down the Palace of Swabia with all of his villagers. He's like, yep, get me this up. I want this up. I want all the villages in the world. All of the advantages that WAM's had in this game. He's at 71 villages compared to Beasty's 48. It's about to go down the drain because this town center is worth, I think, 5 town centers. Is that right? 5 town centers. Absolutely insane. So we'll see if Beasty is going to be able to catch back up fast enough or not. So 6 seconds, 6, 12, 18. So 3 and a bit town centers is what this Palace of Swabia is worth, and the villager costs next to nothing. So Outpost getting dropped down as WAM realizes, well, a bit of a timer at this point. He's on a bit of a timer. He's in the Castle Age at the very least. Does have the Abbey of Trinity here. He can come and grab this relic. He does have some villagers on this position. Is this going to be the first side build we're going to see, or is he just going after the boar? Seems like he's just after the boar here. And we will probably be starting to see some of those crossbowmen starting to come through here for WAM as Beasty moves his men-at-arms kind of seemingly to death. Nice micro here from WAM as Beasty not really paying attention. We'll be able to take these out fairly shortly here as the hunting cabin going to be coming up. And Beasty is just like saying, you know what, I don't care. I'm just going to play SimCity here. I'm sitting in my base. Don't care. Why not? Spams all the villages as fast as he wants. We get up to 200 supply 200 population before he even decides to leave his base. So good game design here. I'm kidding. All right. All the upgrades coming in. Getting himself some cannon emplacement. Tithe barns, relics placed in the monastery, provide income of everything. Oh god, he's gonna get so many resources from that. Cannon emplacements on his towers here. This is something that I haven't thought about. I didn't think about was how strong cannon emplacement is, and with and they're also cheaper, I think, for the Holy Roman Empire. So you can just like hold the location very, very easily here. As you see, even more buildings getting thrown up for Beasty. His economy is about to be absolutely cracked. And his Rus opponent here now has to figure out, well, he's had an advantage for so long, but he hasn't been able to press it. So the question here is, was there any real time that he could have pressed this advantage? And I think, had he predicted the Imperial Age coming through for Beasty and just went in on Trebuchet here, I don't know if the Trebuchet are going to be good enough. I feel like if he could have done that, made those crossbowmen, he probably could have got in here. The outpost just says, get out of here. You can't make any progress. Just so much damage. What is it doing? Is that 70 range damage there? Bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Thank you for the 12 months, Cuddy Danks. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for consistently coming and checking out my stream. See the wooden fortress coming down on the front here. We've got the counterweight trebuchet making its way in here as well. Look at the entire map. WAM's just got control of everything here. So I guess he can just sit here and strangle. And that is potentially going to work here. It's not like he needs more villages. It's 92 villages right now. Beasty's at 84. WAM still has the advantage in villages. He's got himself still only 2 town centers. I'm beyond confused as to why we're still only 2 town centers at 19 minutes, 19 seconds in the game, but I don't know anything about the game, so fair enough. It seems like WAM's trying to get Imperial Age here as his food is starting to skyrocket, his gold is skyrocketing. He's still building villages out of both of those town centers nice and slowly. Setting up the counterweight trebuchets to take down these cannons here. And with the wooden fortresses on the front, and start thinking about getting himself like sprinkled emplacements and everything else here. Is he still using this? I don't think he is. He's got, oh no, he has a number of supplies available, so he's keep doing that. Now we see him getting the final sacred site out as well. And population-wise, we've got 160 pop for WAM to Beasty's 129 pop. It's starting to get close. We see the prelate coming through, going to drop the relic into this location. Does the relic heal the tower up? Oh, okay, he can just use. Yep, fair enough. He can just use the classic. I can't even remember what it's called. Is it emergency repairs? Yeah, emergency repairs there onto the tower. No problems. Fair enough. He's now our main man. Our main man, WAM, still trying to work out how to make any real ground in this game. So this is the difficult part now about Age of Empires 4, and the players kind of haven't really worked out the best way to push in a winning position. If you have a winning position, finishing the game is really, really tough. I think we can all agree that WAM's got a winning position here. He's got the entire map secured. Beasty's in his base with basically full infantry army against what is essentially like countering his army. So there's no way for him to really push out here just yet. He does have this culverin. And really the answer has to be, you just got to spam buildings. Spam buildings as best as you can. We see the villagers trying to make their way out, but the castle, the keeper's already up here, so Beasty too slow on that position there. WAM very much controlling the game nicely. So these units here for Beasty still just like, can't move out. I mean, Beasty kind of needs to get himself some of those, there it is, some of those bombards to push through these buildings and everything else. He is going to be running out of gold very shortly though, so he needs to secure something, which is possibly this keep, this gold vein here potentially. He does have all the relics, so he gets a little bit of gold income, but he doesn't have that super gold income that he would normally have here. As you see the tower getting taken down and all the good stuff that comes from that. And yeah, WAM's still just holding on. I think WAM's just going to try and take the sacred site victory here. Seems to me the best way forward. He can't crack Beasty's base, or he probably could, but he doesn't want to try because he's got the option of sacred sites. Beasty's going to try and push forward. And yeah, the strangle here is real. There could be a way for Beasty to try and move around the side of the map or something to prevent this sacred site or this sacred site from being grabbed. But one thing that WAM could do is just throw up a million sets of walls here with all of the wood that he's got in the bank. And be fine. We are seeing this keep getting targeted down by the bombards. A handful of springles are out here, as well as some of these bad boys. What are they called? Streltsies are in here now. Handful of horsemen swinging around the bank. Thank you for the gifted sub to Naomi Cuddy. Appreciate you, my friend. As the spearmen making their way in, and Beasty is saying, time to go here. Let me take this fight as best as I can, but the crossbowmen too strong. Beasty's army not able to push in. We will be seeing a keep getting dropped here for WAM as best as he, for Beasty, trying to make his push forward work. But the trebuchet are back here, and they can start to take this down. But again, I don't know what the timer here is. Sacred tracker, no. He's got, well, yeah, you've got all three of them, but I've got no idea how long until said sacred site. Is there any way to know? How do I know? How do I know how much time is left on this thing? Is that still not in here? I don't. Does anyone know? No one cares? Okay, cool. Well, we don't know how long the sacred site timer is, because I click on it and it doesn't tell me. So we'll just sit here waiting until the game kind of ends, I guess. Bang, bang, bang. Keep going to be going down very fast, even with the relic in it. I feel like Beasty can repair this one back up, though, with emergency. Oh, he doesn't quite have it for another 15 seconds. We're forced to move in here. He's making some horsemen to push through, but gonna be much. Can't see the timer except for the getting the bells like 2 minutes before the end of the star. Cool. And there's that emergency repairs coming through, but the horsemen moving in. Horsemen get taken down so fast by this army. The Streltsy are out, and these are very, very strong units here. Gunpowder units, super strong. Beasty still trying to push through and take down this this keep over here, which does look like WAM might be losing this one. He's trying to repair it back up. The Bombard doing a lot of damage from the back here. Usually trying to deal with this one, but we do have those Springles coming through, and they do immediately finish that one off as WAM still can't make his way in here, but neither can Beasty push. Beasty trying to make his push through, and you can see how many resources he's got. Lots of wood, lots of food, income. He's got himself nearly 150 villages, guys. 150 villages, 50 military units. Like, why not? Makes perfect sense to me. See the keep getting taken down. The Bombard will probably get taken down as well behind here as well. See another keep getting dropped in the front here for Beasty as he's trying to slow push his way onto this sacred site, because he's kind of like, well, if I can take out this army and get to the sacred site, I can win this game. So that's to delete said keep, moving forward onto this location over here to try and drop the keep right here as the Raiders trying to take down these villages. But it is seemingly enough here, maybe. As Beasty's at 171 population. WAM is at 187 population. These guys just can't move in and kill each other. So you see over here, more walls coming up. There's the chemo walls make an appearance. Yes, chemo walls. Yes. The more chemo walls, the better, I say. As Beasty's keep gets denied on this position here. Up 3 minutes until sacred defeat. Very good. And while, oh no, he's getting pushed through. We see more walls. More walls. Classic. Just simply a classic. So, you know, here's the thing. If, like, Proto JJ was watching this game, he'd be like, man, these guys just attacked the same place for the entire game and didn't do anything. That's kind of what's happening here in this game. Is this just because this is, like, actually the best way to play the game? Or is there just no effort to attack weak spots? Sun Tzu, Art of War. Attack your opponent where he is weakest. And if we take a good hard look at the map here, Where is old mate WAM weakest? This seems like a pretty easy pathway forward for a Beastie. And this was here for this entire time. There was a keep here he had to break down. He could have just made his way through here. Filled this up with buildings. Pushed in here. At any time. For our old mate over here, WAM. Right here. No defenses. Come in. Enjoy killing all these villagers. Any time in this game. This way as well. Any time in this game. I'm wrong? Okay, I'm wrong. Alright. Yeah. These guys are playing perfectly. Best players in the game. They're playing perfectly. No chance to do anything different. Who said anything about splitting up army? I say put buildings here. Put buildings here. Send villages around. Your army stays here to control this while you're doing other stuff. Can't you just build like a ram? Build one ram to break through this? Make a handful of fucking men-at-arms over here. Build a ram, break this down, break through here. I'm good to go. Not only that, this stone wall wasn't here. Like, stone wall wasn't here at the start of the game. It came up much later. I got nothing else to comment. Yeah, it's seemingly looking like WAM is pushing in and killing off all the villages here of Beasty, and Beasty's just not resigning. Like, I don't think that Beasty's got anything left. He's got no food income. He's having to garrison all his villages because the army's managed to come in and push through finally. This is one of those situations where having a score would kind of help the players realize how far behind they are to resign, because otherwise you just kind of sit into games much longer than you should all of the time. Unless Beasty was trying to do something, I don't know. I don't see him trying to do anything. He's 136 of 200 population. All the army here of WAM just doing so much damage. Trebuchet's winning. There we go. Beasty taps out. GG. Well played. Do I get to see the map? Kind of. Well, we'd have we have WAM essentially in this game controlling the map for the entirety of the game. Okay, that's all I get. I get 10 seconds. Great. Fantastic. So WAM controls the game for the entirety of the game. Beasty does nothing, effectively. He tried to push out when he could, but he did nothing to like throw WAM off his game. And to me, what this game looks like, what that specific game looked like was both players trying to abuse their civilization's bonuses as much as they can in order to find an advantage. Instead of what happens in a really good RTS game, which is you have civilization bonuses, sure, but the idea is that you actually have to try and stop your opponent from doing something. Try and get an advantage somewhere. You move in, you attack somewhere, you deal some damage, you get an advantage. You choose to get an upgrade that your opponent doesn't get, you get an advantage. But in this game, it was just Rus took the advantage of being able to throw a town center on a ball, gets the ball, and then takes advantage of his streltsy in the late game or whatever. And the Holy Roman Empire player Beasty's just like, well, I'm just going to try and get myself very fast villagers out of my town center to get my economy going. Access my men-at-arms. And then they just fight. And they see which person's bonus was better here. Is that a fair statement as to what happened in this game? And a fair statement as to the problems that Age of Empires 4 is facing? Is this correct? If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. If I'm right, then I'm right. And if I am right, then maybe you should ask yourself, how do you fix that? And is it a design problem? You can easily fix it. You just make the bonuses less impactful. But then you get a pretty asymmetrical game, don't you? And the game's supposed to be symmetrical. Anyways, if you enjoyed this game and you want to see more Age of Empires 4 content from me, smack the like button, because I will put this on YouTube. If you didn't enjoy this game, don't smack the unlike button, because I'm not sure how that impacts the algorithm. Just leave a comment that says, I don't enjoy this, but thank you for giving it a try. Anyways, my name's Boit. Bye-bye.